Hi, welcome once more to Mr. Max. In this lesson, we are going to revise from September 2020 Gauteng province. Okay, September 2020 trigonometry section from Gauteng province. That is question number 5, 6, and 7. Let's start. Question number 5, 5.1. Calculate the value of 1 minus 5.1. Question number 5.1. Calculate the value of 1 minus 4 sine square 15. You have to find the value of 1 minus 4 sine square 15. Okay. So here sine square 15, we don't know anything about this sine square 15. If it is something like this, 1 minus 2 sine square 15, then we can apply that formula, for cos double angle. There is a formula like this, 1 minus 2 sine square theta. If here it is 2, then we can write it like this. But unfortunately, in this question, here it is 4. So we can't apply like this. You understand? So we have to think something else in this question. So this 15, now I am doing, anyway, now I know that I can't write it like this, because if I want to write it like this, here it is supposed to be 2, 1 minus 2 sine square. That is what you studied the formula. Okay. So here 1 minus 4 sine square theta. Okay. So what you have to do is, this 15, is it possible to write it as a special angle? Yeah. Excuse me. This 45 minus 30. What is 45 minus 30? It is 15. Okay. So here this 1 minus 4 sine square 15, I am going to write it like this. 1 minus 4 sine square 45 minus 30. Am I right? 45 minus 30 is 15. So 45 minus 30. Now that 45 sine square 45 minus 13, leave sine square, leave that square there. What is sine 45? Sine 45 minus 30, how can you expand this one? You studied a formula like that. Do you remember that formula? Sine of a minus b. Sine of a minus b. What is the expansion for this formula? Sine a cos b minus cos a sin b. Isn't it so? This is the formula that you studied. Okay. Sine of a minus b is sine a cos b minus cos a sin b. Okay. Similarly, how can you expand this one? Sine, this is a, this is our a, this 45 is our a, and b is 30. Okay. So sine a, sine 45 cos b is 30 minus cos a is 45 sine 30. You can write it like that. Okay. So here I'm going to write it like that. This is equal to 1 minus 4 sine, this one sine square. Look at how I'm going to write. I'm going to expand this one. So it is sine a, sine 45 cos 30 minus cos 45 into sine 30. Since here it is square, I'm going to square this one. Okay, sine square. Okay, so this one is the expansion of sine of a minus b. Okay, then since here it is square, I square that one. Okay, so all of that one are special angles, so we can substitute the values. You have to know what are the special angles. Okay, what are the values of the special angle? So 1 minus, so how can you expand that one? Is equal to 1 minus 4 into sine 45, that is 1 over root 2. I hope you understand, you studied the special angles. You have to know without any mistake. Okay, so into cos 30, cos 30, what is the answer? Root 3 by 2 minus cos 45, that is also 1 over root 2 into sine 30, that is 1 over 2 half. Okay, now you have to, so I substituted the values there, then there is a square. Okay, so put that square there. So is equal to 1 minus, here please don't use calculator because it is written in the question that don't use calculator. Okay, so 4 into, what is the LCM here? 2 root 2, 2 root 2. So it means that LCM is 2 root 2. Since the denominators are the same, you can just write the numerators as it is. 1 into root 3 is root 3 minus 1 into 1 is 1. So here this is equal to 1 minus 4 into, then what is this one? Root 3. Let me write it like this. Separate. I'm going to separate that one. So here it is going to be 4 into root 3 minus 1 the whole square divided by 2 root 2 square. 2 root 2 square is 2 root 2 square. You can check in your calculator also if you want. 2 squared is 4 times root 2 square is 2. That means 4 times 2, that is 8. Okay, so here 2 root 2 square is 8. So you can see this 4 and this 8 cancel, remaining is 2. Okay, now we have to simplify this one. So this is 1 minus, what is the expansion of this one? So here you have to expand. So what is the expansion of that one? Here before I expand that one, let me take the LCM also. This 2 times 1, when it is like this, a minus b by c, how can you write this? A times c minus b, a times c minus b divided by c, like this. Okay, so this one you have to multiply, then minus b divided by c. So these 2 multiply with this one, that is 2 minus, then root 3 minus 1 the whole square divided by LCD 2. Okay, so now we have to expand that bracket. So that is equal to 2 minus, if you expand that one, root 3 square, that is 3. Then expand this one, 2 into root 3 into 1, that is minus 2 root 3. Then minus 1 square, that is plus 1, divided by 2. So it is 2 minus 3 plus 1 is 4 minus 2 root 3 divided by 2. So now expand the bracket. 2 minus 2 minus 4. 2 minus 4, minus into minus is plus, 2 root 3 divided by 2. So let me write this one here. It's a lengthy step. So we can check is there any other simple method. 2 minus 4 is minus 2 plus 2 root 3 divided by 2. So numerator we can take a 2 as common factor. So what is remaining? 2 into minus 1 plus root 3 divided by 2. So this one cancel. So what is answer? Root 3 minus 1, and that's the answer. Okay, so only up to here is a trigonometry, then the remaining things you just it's a algebra section. Okay, you have to know the number calculation, that's all. So the answer is root 3 minus 1. So that is the first question, 5.1. Now let's move to the next question, 5.2. Okay, next question number 5.2. Question number 5.2, what is that one? Simplify without use of a calculator root 3 sine x, root 3 into sine x into sine square 72 plus sine square 198 into root 3 cos of x minus 90 the whole divided by tan 120 into x, sine x, sorry, tan 120 into sine x. Okay, so you have to simplify this one. So how can you simplify this one? How we are going to start? Before you write the first step, you have to make an idea, okay, what you are going to do and how you are going to write the steps. Okay, look at this one. 72 is here and 198 is here. What is this 72? What is 90 minus 72? 90 minus 72 is 18. Okay, this 198, can you see that 198, that is 180 plus 18 is 198. So there is a connection with this 18 there in both of these steps. Okay, so first of all I'm going to write that step, root 3 into sine x, then that one sine square 90 minus 18, this 72 I wrote it as 90 minus 18, okay, plus sine square this 198 180 plus 18 into root 3 into cos of x minus 90. Cos of x minus 90, cos of minus theta. What is cos of minus theta? That is the same as cos theta. Okay, so similarly cos of x minus 90, this x minus 90 we can write it like this, cos of minus of 90 minus x. Is it not the same? Minus into 90 is minus 90. Minus into minus x is positive x. So we didn't make any changes. Okay. So now look at this one. Cos of minus an angle. Cos of minus an angle is the same as cos that angle, positive. Okay. So this one is the same as cos of 90 minus x. Okay, so try to understand like this, cos of x minus 90 is the same as cos of 90 minus x. You can write it like this only if here it is cos. If here it is sine or tan, don't write it like this. Okay, then there is a minus outside. Here there will be a minus. Okay, so cos of x minus 90 is the same as cos of 90 minus x. So here cos of x minus 90, that is the same as cos of 90 minus x. Then the whole divided by tan 120. Tan 120 is tan of 120 second quadrant. So 180 minus 60 into sine x. Okay, 120 is a second quadrant. Second quadrant, how can you write? 180 minus the reference angle. 180 minus which angle is 120? 180 minus 60. Okay, now what is the next step? So this is equal to root 3 times sine x times 90 minus 18. What is that one? Sine square. 90 minus 18. Which quadrant is that? Minus. Minus means it's on the first quadrant. Okay. All are positive. Doesn't matter it's positive or negative, because since here it is square, everything is going to be positive. Okay. But here there is a problem. If it is based on 90 or 270, you have to change to its co-function. What is the co-function of sine? It is cos. So it is cos square 18. Okay, so listen once more. 90 minus 18 is in the first quadrant, so everything is positive. But if here it is based on 90, you have to change to its co-function. What is the co-function of sine? Cos. So it is cos square 18. Okay, plus now 180 plus 18. 180 plus 18 is in which quadrant? Third quadrant. 180, this is 180, 180 plus, that means in the third quadrant. Third quadrant, what is positive? All sine, tan is positive, but here what? Sine. Okay, but there is a here it is negative, tan is positive here, and here it is sine, so we are supposed to write the negative. Okay, but because of this square we don't want to write negative. because that negative square is going to be positive. Okay, so now based on 180 horizontal line, no change. So here it is sine square 18. Listen once more. 180 plus 18 is in which quadrant? Third quadrant. Third quadrant, what is positive? Tan is positive. Here what? Sine. So it is supposed to be negative. Okay, but try to understand like this. We are supposed to write a negative here. Okay, but here because of this square, that negative is going to be square. That means it's positive. That's why here we didn't write that negative. Otherwise we are supposed to write negative here. Okay, now into root 3, then what is this one? 90 minus x. 90 minus x, first quadrant everything is positive, but if it is based on 90, you have to change to its co-function. What is the co-function of cos? It is sine. So it is sine x the whole divided by what? 180 minus 60. 180 minus, that is on the second quadrant. Second quadrant, what is positive? Sine is positive. Here what? Tan. So it is negative. Here you have to write negative because there is no square here. Okay, so 180 minus means second quadrant, sine is positive. Here what? Tan. So it is negative. If it is based on 180, no change in the trigonometry. So it is minus tan 60 into sine x. Now what is this one? What is the next step? Here look at these ones. There is a root 3 here, sin x here. There is a root 3 here, sin x here. So you can take that root 3 sin x as common factor. Am I right? Okay, so next step, that root 3 into sin x, I took it as common factor. So what is remaining here? This one is gone. It is cos square 18. Then here it is plus. What is remaining on the second term? Root 3 sin x is gone. So remaining is sin square 18. The whole divided by tan 60 minus. So tan 60, what is answer? Root 3. That's a special angle. So tan 60 is root 3 into sin x. So what is this? So cos squared 18 plus sin squared 18, or sin square 18 plus cos squared 18. That is 1. Sin square theta plus cos square theta is 1. So remaining is root 3 into sin x divided by minus root 3 into sin x. So root 3 cancel, sin x cancel. So what is remaining here? Minus. So it is minus 1. Okay, so that is question number 5.2. Now let's move to next question, 5.3. Okay, next question number 5.3. Question number 5.3. What is that question? Determine the general solution of the following: 6 sin x cos x, 6 sin x cos x, plus 3 cos x plus 3 cos x minus 4 sin square x minus 2 sin x is equal to 0. So you have to find the general solution of this one. Okay, so general solution, do you remember that one? Plus k 360, like that you have to write that one. Okay, so here what you can do is, when you are doing this type of question, first you have to try before you watch this video. First you have to try by yourself. Then try to get an answer. And check, after that you check this video and make sure that your answer is correct or wrong. Okay, so for here what I'm going to do is, I'm going to combine these two and these two. So when you combine these two terms, you can see cos x is a common factor, or 3 also a common factor. Here it is 6, here it is 3. That means 3 you can take as common factor, and also cos x you can take as common factor. So I'm going to take 3 cos x as a common factor. So from these two terms, what is remaining here? 6s. So 3 common factor remaining is 2. 2 sin x, then plus 3 cos x, the whole thing we took as common factor. So remaining here it is 1. Okay. Now from here 2 4, that means minus minus, I can take a minus 2 common factor, then sine squared x sin x. So sin x, 1 sin x I can take as common factor. So what is remaining here? 4. 4 means we took 2 as common factor, so 2 times 2 is 4. And here you don't want to write a minus, because this minus into plus is minus. Okay, here also it is plus. I mean sine square x, we took only 1 sin x as common factor. So what is remaining? How many sin x remaining? 1 sin x remaining. Okay, then plus 1. Why it is plus? Then only minus times plus is minus. Okay, and that 2 we took as common factor, sin x we took as common factor, so remaining is plus 1, and that is equal to 0. So now look at these two terms. How many terms are there now? 2 terms. This is one term and this is the second term. Okay, so from that 2 terms you can see that 2 sin x plus 1, 2 sin x plus 1, you can take it as common factor. Okay, so next step we can take 2 sin x plus 1, we can take it as common factor. So what is remaining here? 3 cos x minus, what is remaining here? 2 sin x is equal to 0. So it means that from that 2 terms we took 2 sin x plus 1 as common factor. So here you can see 2 terms, bracket stands for multiplication, 2 terms multiplied and the answer is 0. So it means that either this one is equal to 0 or this one is equal to 0. So both of that one we have to consider. Okay, first we can consider the first one. 2 sin x plus 1 is equal to 0. It implies 2 sin x plus 1 is equal to 0. Or what? Or 3 cos x minus 2 sin x is equal to 0. So now we have to find the values of x, then the general solution. So from this equation, let's consider this first one. Okay, take this 1 to the other side, minus 1. So it is 2 sin x is equal to minus 1. From here, what is sin x? Sin x is equal to, divide both sides with 2. So these 2 cancel, then here it is minus 1 over 2. Okay, so look at this one, sine is minus half. So anyway, first we can find the reference angle. What is the reference angle? Reference angle is equal to sine inverse of, you don't want to consider the negative when you are finding the reference angle. So sine inverse of positive half. So the answer is 30. Okay, so the reference angle is 30. Now what you have to check? You have to check sine of the angle is negative half. Sine is negative. Sine is negative in which quadrants? Third and fourth quadrant. So you have to consider both of that one. Okay, first third quadrant. Sine is negative in the third quadrant and fourth quadrant. Third quadrant, how can you write? Angle is x is equal to third quadrant 180. Third quadrant means this is 180. So third quadrant is this one. So it is 180 plus reference angle. So 180 plus reference angle. What is the reference angle? Plus 30 plus k 360. So here x is equal to 180 plus 30 is 210 plus k 360. So what? That is one answer. I told you sine is negative in the third and third and fourth quadrant. So next one is fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant, how can you write? Here the angle is x is equal to fourth quadrant. This is 360. So 360 minus, am I right? Okay. So 360 minus reference angle. Reference angle is 30 plus k 360. So x is equal to 360 minus 30 is 330 plus k 360. So that is the second reference, second general solution. Okay. So we have here, don't forget that we have 2 sin x plus 1 is equal to 0 and also 3 cos x minus 2 sin x is equal to 0. We have to consider that one also. Okay. So it's not finished. Okay. From here, take this one to the other side. So it is 3 cos x is equal to positive 2 sin x. When you take this minus other side, it is positive. Okay. Take this cos x to the numerator here, denominator here, and these 2 to the denominator here. So these 2 will come here. So it is 3 over 2 is equal to this sin x, and here it is multiplication. That's why when we take this cos x to the other side, it is division, divided by cos x. Actually, what is this sin x by cos x? Tan x. So tan x is equal to 3 over 2. So here also you can see that tan x is equal to 3 over 2, or it is positive answer. Tan is positive in which quadrants? Tan is positive in the first and this quadrant and this quadrant. First and all sin tan. That means tan is positive here. So first and third quadrant. Okay. So first of all, we have to find the first quadrant. Okay. First we have to find the reference angle. Reference angle is equal to tan inverse of 3 over 2. Check in your calculator what is tan inverse of 3 over 2. Tan inverse of 56.31. So it is 56.3. Now tan is positive in the first quadrant and third quadrant. Okay, first we can find first quadrant, that is acute angle. So here the angle is x is equal to, what is the acute angle here? 56 plus 0.31 plus k. Here, since here it is tan, we are supposed to write plus k 180 degrees. Okay. Now tan is positive in the first and third quadrant. Third quadrant, 180 plus reference angle. Third quadrant 180 plus. So third quadrant, now you have to write third quadrant. Okay, x is equal to 180 plus reference angle. Reference angle is 56.31 plus k 180. So check in your calculator, 236. 236. Okay, 236.31 plus k 180 degrees. So that is the second one. This is the first one. Okay, so there are four general solutions we got: 210 plus k 360, 330 plus k 360, 56 plus 0.31 plus k 180, 236.3631 plus k 180. So that is question number 5.3. Now let's move to the next question, question number 5.4. Okay, question number 5.4. Question number 5.4. What is that question? Prove that 1 minus tan A. Prove that 1 minus tan A into cos A divided by cos 2A is equal to 1 by cos A plus sin A. You have to prove that this left hand side is equal to right hand side. Okay, so how can we prove this one? 1 minus tan A is equal to 1 minus tan A into cos A divided by cos 2A is equal to 1 by cos A plus sin A. How can you prove this? Okay, this tan A, you know that it is sin A divided by cos A. Okay, so let's take the left hand side. Left hand side is equal to this one, 1 minus sin A divided by cos A into this one is cos A divided by cos 2A. Actually, you know, there are three double angle formula for cos 2A. What are that one? First one is 2 cos square A minus 1. Second one is 1 minus 2 sin square A. Third one is cos squared A minus sin square A. So among these three, which one you are going to substitute for this cos 2A here? That you have to think. Look at this one. This cos A, if I take the LCM, this cos A is going to multiply with this one, cos A minus sin A. Can you see, numerator you are going to get cos A minus sin A. Here this is like a difference of two squares, a square minus b, so like this, a square minus b square. What is that one? A minus b into a plus b. Similarly, cos A minus sin A into cos A plus sin A. So here we are getting cos A minus sin A. Here also we are going to get cos A minus sin A. You understand? So it is better to write this formula. Okay, so here I am going to write cos square A minus sin square A. So now cos A into 1, I am going to take the LCM. So cos A minus sin A divided by cos A. I took the LCM there, here, this one. Then this one is cos A divided by, like what I said, it's like a square minus b square. So a minus b into a plus b. So here how can you write? Okay, let me erase these unnecessary brackets. Okay, let me erase this bracket, this bracket. Okay, you know that it is multiplication, so this is multiplication, so it is cos A, then this one is cos A minus sin A into cos A plus sin A. Now since here it is multiplication, there is no problem to cancel this cos A minus sin A and cos A minus sin A, this cos A and cos A. So what is remaining? Numerator there is nothing, so it is 1 divided by cos A plus sin A. Is it not that our RHS, that is what we want to prove? So that is equal to RHS. Okay, so that is question number 5.4. Now let's move to next question, 5.5. Okay, question number 5.5. Question number 5.5. If sine 2 theta is equal to k, it is given that sine 2 theta is equal to k, and where 0 less than 2 theta less than 90. Determine in terms of k the cos 2 theta and sine 2 theta. Okay, so before we go to the first question, what is given? Sine 2 theta is equal to k. So what is the definition of sine in terms of x, y and r? What is sine theta? Sine theta, x, y and r. Y opposite side by hypotenuse r, y over r. So you have to know that one to do this type of questions. Cos theta is x over r, adjacent side by hypotenuse. Tan theta is opposite side by adjacent side. So similarly here, sine 2 theta is equal to k. So k means, what is the denominator? Denominator is 1. That's obvious. Okay. So k means k divided by 1. And what is the definition of sine? Y over r. So this sine theta, that is opposite side by hypotenuse, that is y over r. So what is the meaning of that? It implies that y is equal to k, and what is r? R is equal to 1. So what is missing here? Which one we don't know now? X. Okay. So how can you find the value of x? What is the formula? Now you are in grade 12. You have to know directly without writing much step. Okay. It is r square minus y square. In many videos I told you. How can you find r? Root of x square plus y square. How can you find x? Root of r square minus y square. Well, how can you find y? Root of r square minus x square. You have to know that one. Okay. So here we have to find x. So it is root of r square minus y square. So x is equal to root of square root of r square. 1 square minus y. Y is k. K square. So x is root of 1 minus k square. Okay. Okay. So just leave it like that. Now look at this one. Here is a easy question. 0 to 90 straightforward. We know that it is first quadrant. Okay. So that we have to draw a Cartesian plane, and 0 to 90 means we don't want to think anything else. It's a first quadrant. And there, what are the x and y values? X is square root of 1 minus k square, and y is k, and r is 1. And this one, this angle is 2 theta. Okay. Okay. So now what is the question? What do you want to find? First one, cos 2 theta. First question, 5.5.1. Okay. So let me erase this one. Okay. So we know x is root of 1 minus k square. So you have to write that one. Okay. Okay. So here first question, 5.5.1 cos 2 theta. 5.5.1 cos 2 theta. Here also you have to concentrate on the angle. Okay. Make sure that it is 2 theta. Here it is given as 2 theta. So here also 2 theta. Okay. So if it is theta, you can't write it like the same x, y and r. Okay. So cos 2 theta, what is the definition? X over r. Am I right? Adjacent side. Definition of cos is adjacent side by hypotenuse. Okay. So here what is x? X we got as root of 1 minus k square divided by r. R is 1. So the answer is root of 1 minus k square. Second question, 5.5.2. What is that one? Sine 2 theta divided by tan theta. Okay. Second one, sine 2 theta divided by tan theta. So here you must be careful. Sine 2 theta, we know that it is k. Okay. But tan theta, so don't write here tan, definition of tan is y over x and substitute the values. No, it's wrong. Okay. Why? Because here it is, the angle is 2 theta. Here what is angle? Theta. So you can't substitute the same x and y here. You understand? Because the angle is different. Okay. So what you have to do? You know this one is a double angle. So expand that one. What is the expansion? 2 sine theta into cos theta. Then divided by this tan theta, we can write it as sine theta divided by cos theta. Okay. So this sine theta and sine theta cancel. Then what this cos theta will do? This cos theta will go to the numerator and multiply. Okay. So maybe I explained that one in another question. A divided by B by C. If it is something like this, the simple method is this C you have to multiply with this A. Okay, so it is AC divided by B. That's the shortcut method. Okay, so here similarly here this cos theta you have to multiply with that numerator. Okay, so now what is that one? This cos theta into cos theta, cos square theta. So this one is, there is a 2 here, then cos theta times cos theta is cos square theta. But still you can see that theta, but do you know any x, y and r based on theta? No, we know only based on 2 theta. Okay, so now I am thinking, how can you convert this theta into 2 theta? So you studied an expression like this, cos 2 theta, the double angle. Okay, there is an expression like this, 2 cos square theta minus 1. You remember that one? Okay, so here 2 cos square theta is here. What is the shortage to write it like this? There is a minus 1 shortage. Okay, so what I am going to do is, look at this, I am going to write a minus 1 then plus 1. Minus 1 plus 1 is 0, so I don't make any difference in the question. Okay, now these first 2 terms, is it not that one cos 2 theta? So here this is cos 2 theta plus 1. Now we got the angle in terms of 2 theta. So now what is cos 2 theta? Cos 2 theta, cos is x over r. Cos 2 theta, we got the answer, root of 1 plus 1 minus k square. So root of 1 minus k square, that's the previous question, plus 1. So we got the answer in terms of k. That is question 5.5.2. Now let's move to question number 6. Question number 6. Question number 6. What is that one? The sketch below shows the graph of f of x is equal to a sin x. There is a graph f of x is equal to a into sin x, and g of x is equal to, there is another graph, g of x is equal to cos dx. So there are 2 graphs, one is f of x and the other one is g of x, from minus 180 to 180, and a minus 30 comma half is a point of intersection of f and g. Okay, now there is a graph given there, so let me draw that graph first. Okay, then based on that one I will explain. So there is a y-axis, x-axis. Okay, so this is the graph f and g. So there are 2 graphs, one is f of x and the other one is g of x. The black one is f of x and the red one represented with the g of x. Okay, now first question, 6.1. what is that question? You have to write down the values of a and d. You have to find the values of this a and d. Okay, what is this? A determines the height of the graph. For example, let me quickly explain. Y is equal to sin x graph. Okay, so if you draw that graph, the maximum height is 1 and the minimum height is minus 1. If you draw y is equal to 2 sin x graph, then the maximum height is going to be positive 2 and the minimum height is going to be minus 2. Okay, so this value represent the range, am I right, from which value to which value. Okay, and also if it is plus 1, then the graph after this one, then the graph is shifted 1 units upwards. So here 2, this one is, if it is plus 1, okay, then what is the range? 2, what is the range of sin x? What is the range of sin x? Minus 1 to 1. Okay, plus 1. So it is, what is the new range? 2 times minus 1, that is minus 2 plus this one, comma 2 times 1 is 2, then plus 1. So the new range is minus 1 comma 3. Okay, so if you want to watch if you want to know more about this one, you have to watch the previous lesson where I explained all this one. Okay, the class lessons. Okay, so anyway, this a represent the range. okay, from which value to which value, okay. But here look at this graph, f of x is equal to a sin x graph, that means this one, okay. Here look at this black graph, when x is 90, what is the y value? -1, that means when x is 90, y value is -1. But when, what is the value of sin 90 in your calculator? Sin 90, you know, it's a special angle. Sin 90 is +1. Am I right? So here you can see that when it is sin 90, it is -1. So it means that the value of a is negative, because that is a reflection. Actually, when it is 90, it is supposed to pass through +1. We know sin 90 is 1, that means +1. That when it is 90, f of x graph is supposed to pass through +1, but where the f of x graph is passing -1. So it means that this a sin x graph is a reflection of the graph. So, or we can say that the value of a is negative, okay. So the value of a is negative. Now here you can, at the same time you can see that the minimum value is -1 and maximum value is +1. So it means that a is 1, the value of a is 1. So let me write it like this, f of x is equal to a sin x. So f of x is the same as y is equal to, now we know value of a is, sin of a is -1, and what is the value of a? -1 to 1. So it means that value of a is 1, okay. So 1 into sin x. So it means that what is the question is to find the value of a and d. So it means that the value of a is -1. So it implies that a is equal to -1. There we got the value of a, okay. So listen once more. What is this minus stands for? Normal case sin 9, this is a sin x graph, okay. Sin 90, it is supposed to be +1, but where it is passing -1. So you have to understand that the sin x graph is reflected here, or this one is a reflected graph, so it is negative, okay. The sign of a is negative, okay. Then here the range is from -1 to +1, so it means here it is 1, okay. So the value of a is -1. Now cos dx, here this d determines the period of the graph, am I right? This d determines the period of the graph. So what is the period formula in the case of cos? Period is equal to 360 divided by coefficient of x, okay. So it is 360 divided by coefficient of x. Coefficient of x is d, 360 divided by d, and we are supposed to find the value of that d, okay. But what is the meaning of period? Period means the degree it will take to complete one rotation. So look at this graph, it started here, am I right? And it started on minus, I'm talking about the g of x graph, the red one, okay. It started here on -180, then from here it goes down minimum, again it reaches the same point when it is 0. That means what is the period of this graph? From -180 to 0. From -180 to 0 means it is 180 degrees. So it means that this g of x graph took 180 degrees to complete one rotation, from starting from here, then again the same point. That means how many degrees it took? 180, and that is actually period. So from the graph we know that the period is 180, okay, from the graph. So formula wise, 360 divided by coefficient of x. So here the coefficient of x is d, okay. So 360 divided by d. So take this d to this side, this 180 to this side, you have to cross multiply this. So d is equal to 360 divided by 180, that is 2. So the value of d is 2, okay. So that is question number 6.1. Now let's move to the next question, 6.2. Question number 6.2. Determine the coordinates of D. You have to find the coordinate of D. So here this is the point D and you have to find the coordinate of D. So here you can see this point D is an intersecting point, both f of x and g of x. So look at this one. At this point, what is the y value? Half. So it means that the coordinate of this y value is also half. You understand? At this intersecting point, the y value is half. So it means that this is on the same y value. Okay, so here also it is half. Okay, now you just want to find what is the value, what is the x value here. So here which graph is this one? For example, if I take that's an intersecting point, so any graph you can take. Okay, let me take f of x. F of x is equal to a, we know that it is -1 into sine x. Okay, so anyway, this graph y is equal to minus 1 into minus sine x. Okay, so when x is -30, when x is -30, it is half. Okay, when x is -30, it is half. So where x where you are getting the half again, you know, sine 30 is equal to half. Then which one is half? Sine 180 minus 150. This 30 is 180 minus 150. Am I right? Okay, so it means that sine 150, you can check in your calculator, sine 150 is also half. Okay, so it means that at this point the value, since here it is negative, here you can see that the x value is negative. Okay, so here we can write minus 150. Okay, so sine 30 is half, we know that. Okay, then 30 is 180 minus 150, you can write it like that. Okay, or sine 150, you have to know this one, sine 150 is also half. Okay, so it means that here, since here it is negative, x value negative side, you have to write minus 150. So it means that therefore coordinates of D is minus 150 comma half. That's the answer. Okay, how many marks? Only 1 mark. Okay, so the answer 1 minus 150 comma half. So that is question number 6.2. Now let's move to the next question, 6.3. What is that question? For which values of x? You have to find the values of x. Okay, f is decreasing from minus 180 to 180. F means here I represented with the black color. Okay, f is decreasing. Here you can see that the f graph is increasing until this point, but after that point, what happened to f graph? It is decreasing up to here. Okay, so at this point, what is the x value? Minus 90. At this point, what is the x value? Positive 90. So it means that x is an element of minus 90 to positive 90. Between minus 90 and positive 90, the f graph is decreasing. Okay, so or you can write it like this also. Some schools you study it like this. Both are the same thing. Or okay, so between minus 90 and positive 90, the f graph is decreasing. Okay, 6.3.2. next question. F of x into g of x is less than 0. So look at that question. F of x into g of x is less than 0, and the domain, you have to check that one. Where is the domain? From minus 180 to 0. So you have to check only between minus 180 and 0. That means minus 180 and 0. You don't want to mind after what is happening 0. Okay, after what is happening this 0. Okay, so between minus 180 and 0, f of x into g of x is less than 0. So f of x times g, if you multiply two two answers, two numbers, and the answer is less than 0 means negative. So it means that either it must be positive and negative, then you will get a negative answer, or it must be negative and positive, then also you will get positive into negative is negative, negative into positive is negative. Okay, so when can you say that here this positive negative, we are talking about f of x and g of x, two graphs. Okay, so when can you say that this graph is positive? When it is above x-axis. When can you say that the graph is negative? When it is below x-axis. So anyway, if you want to get a negative answer, it means that the one graph must be on above x-axis and the other graph must be below x-axis. Positive, negative. Positive times negative is negative. Okay, so look at this one. Here after this minus 135, okay, between minus 135 to minus 45, look at, let me draw a line passing through that minus 35 and here minus 45. Okay, look at between that two green lines, that means minus 135 and minus 45. Look at the between that two lines. Here we can see that this red graph or g of x graph is below x-axis. Do you agree that this one is below x-axis? That means negative. Okay, then what about f of x graph? This is f of x graph above x-axis. Am I right? Above this x-axis. That means positive. So if you multiply this f of x and a g of x, positive into negative, it is going to be negative. Okay, so it means that the value of x must be between minus 135 and minus 45. Between minus 135 and minus 45, positive into negative, it is negative. What happened before that minus 135 above x-axis, this red one above x-axis, that means positive, it's positive. What happened after minus 45 and 0? Positive. So that is positive. So only between minus 135 and minus 45, one is positive above x-axis and the other one is below x-axis. So that's the answer. Okay, so that is question number 6.3.2. Now let's move to the next question, question number 7. Okay, number 7, question number 7. What is that one? There is a, in the figure below, KM is a vertical flag. Okay, first let me draw that diagram, then after that I will explain based on that. Okay, so this is a given diagram, and based on this one you can read that one. This is R, this is 2R, this angle is X, this angle is also X. Okay, and this one is 90 degrees. So this is a vertical pole, so it means that this angle is also supposed to be 90 degrees, even though it is not shown there. Okay, now question number 7.1. what is the question? Based on this diagram you have to answer that one. Calculate the value of x. You have to find the value of this x, either this one or this one. Okay, both are the same thing. Okay, so how can you find the value of x? So before you watch this one, pause the video and try to find, or you think by yourself and try to do that one. Okay, then after that you watch this one. Okay, so here look at this triangle. In triangle KLM, is it not a right angle triangle, that one KLM? Okay, so there in that triangle KLM, this is x. Okay, so if I take a tan x, what is the answer? Opposite side by adjacent side, that is the definition of tan. Okay, so opposite side is km, so it is km divided by adjacent. This is the hypotenuse, this one is so lm is the hypotenuse, I mean adjacent side. Okay, so adjacent side we know that it is given as r. Okay, so tan x is equal to km divided by r, or what is km from there? cross multiply, that is r into tan x. So that is equation number 1. I got an expression for km. Okay, now look at this triangle KMN. Which triangle is that? K, this is KMN, and that angle is also 90 degrees. And here you can see that this is x. So this is 90 degree, means that one is hypotenuse. Okay, so what is tan x from there? In triangle KMN, what is tan x from there? Opposite side is mn. So mn divided by adjacent side. What is adjacent side? Km, isn't it so? Okay, this is the hypotenuse, because since this one is 90 degree, this is the hypotenuse. So adjacent side is km. So opposite side, opposite of this one, that is mn divided by adjacent km. Okay, so what is this mn? Mn, it is given as 2r. Okay, so there we can substitute mn as 2r. This mn is 2r. Okay, so tan x is equal to mn is 2r. Km, what is km? Here is km, r tan x. So r tan x, I substitute the km as r tan x. So this r and r cancel. So this tan x you can cross multiply. Tan x, this tan x times tan x, that is tan square x is equal to only 2 remaining there. So from there, what is tan x? Tan x is equal to square root of 2. So from there, how can you find x? Yeah, tan inverse of square root of 2. Check in your calculator, what is tan inverse of square root of 2? 54.74. 54.74. That means the x value is, or the value of x is 54.74 degrees. Okay, that is question number 7.1. Now let's move to 7.2. Question number 7.2. What is that question? If r is equal to 5 meter, so this r is 5, so it means that now we know the length of r, that one is 5. So what about this 2r? 2 times 5, that is 10. So this one is 10. So this length is 5 and this length is 10. Okay, now an LMN, angle LMN is 110. So LMN, that means this angle is 110. Now calculate the length of LN. You have to find the length of LN. Yeah, that's a simple question, straightforward. That's a cosine rule you can apply. Opposite side you have to find angle, opposite angle we know, and 2 corresponding sides also we know. Okay, so it's like this. We know this is 5, this is 10, and this angle is 110. You have to find this one. How can you find? Cosine rule, isn't it so? Okay, so how can you apply cosine rule there? Ln square, cosine rule, Ln square is equal to Lm square. Do you remember this cosine rule? You have to study that one. Okay, those who doesn't know, you have to watch that lesson classes. Okay, Lm square plus mn square minus 2 into Lm into mn into cos of that angle. What is the angle here? It is given that it is 110. Okay, substitute the values. So ln square is equal to Lm is 5, so 5 square plus mn is 10, so 10 square minus 2 into Lm, that is 5 into mn, that is 10 into cos of 110. So take your calculator, try to find. How do you get this 10? How do you get 10? It is given that r is equal to 5. Okay, so and this mn is 2r, so it is 2 times 5. That is how I got 10. Okay, anyway, take your calculator, try to find the answer of this one. Okay, in your calculator you will get a 159.20. 159.20. So what is ln? Ln square is this one. So what is ln? Square root of 159.20. So ln is equal to, take your calculator, try to find 12.62. 12.62. So it means that the length of ln is 12.62. That is question number 7.2. So guys, that's end of February 2020 Gauteng question paper trigonometry section. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this class, you understand clearly. So keep on watching. Thank you for watching. See you on the next lesson.